Hello, my fellow limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How you doing on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? Yes, I see the purple flashing. I have no words. Does it matter? I heard some people on Twitter don't like my long intros. Manifest that I make them shorter. Okay? Manifest it. Manifest that I make shorter intros. Okay? Otherwise, I'm going to keep doing what I want. Anyway, let's see. Let's go to the basic bitch. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the drop box below. They're in the screens that just went by. I have 2 channel memberships on here. The exclusive lives channel membership and the hot seat / group coaching membership. If you join the hot seat group, you got access to both groups. I go live with the exclusive group on Tuesdays, about 9:30-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and with the hot seat group on Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The hot seat group is where you get the opportunity to get in the damn hot seat for a limit of 15 minutes, and you can ask me anything you want directly about your own manifestation, circumstances, whatever you want to ask. That's the spot for you. Okay? And we're really strict about keeping it fair, making sure that each week it's the people who have never been in the hot seat get picked from first before we get into the repeats. Okay? All right. Now, I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have Clapper. I don't love Clapper. I'm trying to enjoy it, but it's a stretch. I like to keep things real. So join me. Join me if you're new here. Hi, I'm Kimberly. I like my long intros. Feel free to stick around, subscribe, give me a like, hang out with me a little while. Let's get into the video. I'm sure you've already seen the title. Yeah, some truth about the law of assumption. It's not a clickbait title. It's real. Over the weekend, I had some lovely one-on-one sessions with some beautiful people. And I've heard that we have some unlovely limiting beliefs going around in the community again. And it's time to answer to some of these things, because I have a concern, and because I'm concerned about it, and I'm thinking about it, and my focus is on it, I'm manifesting it, right? One of the troubling things I heard this weekend was, if you sleep with night affirmations playing, it could lead you to possibly getting depressed. That is probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. And that if you listen or sleep to these affirmations, that they're not going into your subconscious mind. What? Silliness. That's the first one. That's silliness. I have personally used sleep affirmation tapes myself. Probably a year or 2. Maybe it's been 2 years since I've done that. And I did get movement in my 3D from the night tapes. Now, the night tapes, if you don't know what they are, they're simply night recordings, meaning there's YouTube videos that have affirmations over and over and over again. Dylan James is someone who puts a bunch of them, but initially he would refer to them as the night tapes, and that name for me just stuck. But they're really just YouTube videos, recordings, meditations. Yes, they work. No, I just think it's ridiculous that it even is suggested that you could get depressed from playing them at night. That's just silliness. Another keeping it real truth. That if you don't face and clip away all of your triggers, you can't manifest your specific person. Now, what I'm surprised at is where these limiting beliefs are coming from. I'm shocked at them. That is also the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And I need anyone out there manifesting to know you're still a human being, as am I. And, we are in a self-evolvement process. Even saying the word process feels yucky, but we are. We're evolving. We're shifting into states of consciousness at all times, right? We are shifting all day long. The idea of this journey in general is that we are evolving into our highest selves. Now, I have the belief that, for us to attain like the Jesus level state, at that state in itself, our desires for things will probably be a little bit smaller, like the God state, right? The God state is pure consciousness. But we are all evolving until we get to that place. Having desires is normal and natural, and the desires in themselves is one of the reasons we're here, is, so that we are learning how to manifest our desires. That's what this whole experience is. Learning how to manifest our dreams and desires. I know my voice is annoying. I'm sorry. I've been under the weather. I'm almost tongue-tied over this because I'm just shocked that this is even something out there. And the truth about the law of assumption, the truth about manifesting is it's what you believe to be true. That's what matters. Who you believe you are, that's what matters. But the beliefs and assumptions of others, they don't have to matter unless you accept them as your own truth. So what I mean by that is, on this journey, you will recognize that maybe some things do trigger you. We'll use the example of when you're manifesting a specific person. Perhaps it's someone that you've already had some kind of interaction with. So let's use the example of manifesting an ex. And let's say that you've manifested them in, you're now in contact, you are going out on dates, and your pure goal, your manifestation is to marry this person. And maybe as you're going out on dates, maybe SP has said things that has triggered you. The object, or the whole point of this manifestation journey is to get to a place where the triggers are not really triggering you anymore, right? That's the goal. But perfectionist or perfectionism or having to be perfect, okay? You can say it any way you want. The expectation that you must be perfect in order to manifest that wedding, that marriage, that relationship is ludicrous. Yes, as we address, face, work through triggers, we are therefore moving through more elevated states of consciousness. But if it was you had to be perfect and crush all triggers before you could have the manifestation, we would manifest nothing. We would manifest nothing. Do you see what I'm saying? It's that kind of overly strict belief that keeps people from evolving into elevated states. To try and assume that you must reach these crazy ass, and I do think it's crazy ass, absolutely, you must never make a mistake consciousness. It's unattainable and it's not necessary to manifest. Use me as your example. I try to keep things pretty basic bitch over here because that's who I am. I'm a basic bitch. I manifested my specific person. I am currently in the best relationship that I've ever experienced in my lifetime. I manifested this through conscious manifesting. And I am far from perfect. I still have triggers. I still have moments where I get upset. You see, but I've taken away the fear of those triggers, the fear of my thoughts. I've removed that. Am I perfect? Nah. Do some thoughts sometimes get underneath my skin? Sure. I feel them in my body. I don't like it. But I make the decision to return to the state of the version of me that's having what I fucking want. That's your goal, is to continue to return to the version of you who has what you want. It's totally normal to have moments of doubts, to have moments of triggers. Now, being triggered isn't fun. It doesn't feel good. I know this. Wouldn't we all love to be in the place of never being triggered again? Sure. But give yourself the credit of even being able to identify you're being triggered. Give yourself that credit. It's when we put these expectations on ourselves, those expectations are what are holding us back. I cannot stress this enough. The truth about the law of assumption, the truth about manifestation is we take it so serious. We make this so strict. When you're watching videos, the coach in the video or the person making the video about the subject can only teach you from where they currently are. That's the truth. They can only teach you from where they are. And if they have never reached a state where they are finally seeing and perceiving that there is no expectation of perfectionism, there is none. When you are aware and can fully perceive and understand that we are just pure awareness, pure consciousness, the I am at our core, that's who we are. And that consciousness, that awareness, infinite awareness, is limitless and flawless. It is God. It is the I am. If you don't believe in God, use the words you do. Universe, source, highest source, whatever words mix well with your beliefs. But that's what that is, and that's who we are at our core. You're a human being learning to manifest your life, manifest your desires, manifest your most amazing experiences. And the more you start seeing this just a little bit more lighthearted, a little less stressful, when fearful thoughts are coming in, we stop fearing them and we just decide to declare or affirm that thought, I don't like it, doesn't make me feel good. It belongs to an old version of me. It's not who I am anymore. And you get in the habit of just deciding that's all it is. It's a thought that belongs to a different version of you. And when you affirm to yourself that you are finally the version of self that is having whatever your desire is. So we'll go back to that specific person manifestation. I am finally now the version of me who is having the most amazing relationship of my life. I finally am feeling unconditional love. I finally know what it feels like to be chosen, to be desired, to be prioritized, or anything else you desire. You keep returning back to that, your 3D will change and you will manifest your desire. But putting the expectation on you must be trigger free to experience this is silliness. And it's holding you back. It's holding you back. Please, when you're watching content, use discernment. If something a coach says to you is really upsetting, triggering, you have the right to question it. You have the right to decide that that doesn't apply to you. It's not your belief. People making manifestation content, including myself, we're just humans. We're just regular fucking people, not gurus. No one is really a guru. No one is really the all master of it. Or if you think they are, well, you are too then, because we all have access to the same knowledge, the same downloads. Every one of us has the ability to get your own damn knowledge, to get your own downloads of the knowledge. Every one of you, we are all equals. Every one of us equals. Triggers are uncomfortable. They're upsetting. That's why they're called triggers. How do you handle a trigger in the moment? My way of handling triggers are I don't run away from it. I face it. And by face it, I mean, I take a look at what it is. Why am I responding this way? Why is this upsetting to me? And if it's something that I've already identified the belief that it's connected to, from that point forward, once we're done addressing the belief, so we'll use the example, say your specific person says to you, I don't know if I really want to take this so serious. I kind of want to date other people. And let's say that triggered me. Well, taking a look at that would feel to me like I'm not feeling chosen. I'm not feeling like a priority by this person. And I definitely don't feel loved by them. So I could look at that and say, maybe they just don't want me. Maybe they're not attracted to me. See, that could be, I don't feel chosen. I don't feel good enough. Love doesn't work for me. Any one of those. I would keep asking myself the question of, all right, why is that bothering me? Why do I think that? And I would listen to what my mind gives me for an answer. So in this moment, I'm going to say that my mind gave me the answer that I think it's because I'm not pretty enough. I don't feel pretty enough. Okay, I don't feel good enough. There's the belief. I've identified it. Now, if any thoughts come back up that are directly connected to that, I'm declaring that belongs to a former version of self. I am now the version of myself that knows I am good enough. I am more than enough. And I am worthy and deserving of unconditional love. I am worthy and deserving of the most amazing relationship of my life. I am worthy of that. And I am having it. That is who I am now. The version of me that's having exactly what I want in my love life. And I move along. I wouldn't have stifled my tears. If it upset me that far, I would cry. I would allow my emotion. Don't stifle yourself. But also don't fear that because you had a moment of being triggered, that now you can't have your manifestation. That's silliness. So there's another truth for you. The truth about manifestation is that it is you, the individual, who is complete and utter control over your own mind and your reality. If you are uncomfortable with what a person in a video, I don't even want to call, it's almost funny sometimes to be calling ourselves coaches. We're just humans. We're humans that like a subject. But just because we like a subject doesn't mean we're the all-knowing. Maybe our interpretation of the subject is still limiting. To even suggest that listening to affirmations could cause depression is silliness. It's silliness, and it's fear-mongering. The truth about the law of assumption, the truth about manifestation is you are the I am. Trust in yourself. Trust in who you are. Decide you are the version of yourself that doesn't have limited beliefs. Your limited beliefs, they are not hidden from you. There's another truth. They are not hidden from you. They are all over the place in your 3D. Your 3D reality is always reflecting you and your beliefs and your assumptions, not your every individual thought. So take a look around at the shit you don't like within your reality and ask yourself, why does that bother me? How does that make me feel? Like a child would. Yeah, but why? But why? But why? Keep doing that to yourself until you get it down to the belief. The most common beliefs are, I don't feel good enough. I'm not chosen. I'm not loved. Relationships don't work for me. All men suck. All men cheat. All women are, what is the most common one I hear? All women are like after money or man's money or blah, blah, blah. Boil it down to the belief and decide that's not you anymore. It is that simple. There's the truth. And I'm sure there's other things out there. And listen, and if you've heard yourself any limiting beliefs, put them in the comments below. I'll make another video. I've already made videos on this subject, but those are concerning to me. You all have to realize you are your own I am of your reality. You have the same God, universe, source, I amness in you that I have in me. That is why we are equals. You can manifest anything you want, and you don't need a coach to help you manifest either, truthfully. You don't. You have all access to the same knowledge, and I think of it as power. All that same knowledge and power as I do, as any other person in a video does. Okay? And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.